Are we swaying?
Here we are. Ben was dancing a little bit earlier.
More room?
Yeah. We're not going to have room here in a second.
Nope.
We're bringing you, I think. Well, no, we had our Customer Appreciation Day, but our first official guest is going to be here with us momentarily on screen in the store.
That's not a customer.
That is not a customer.
Well, technically, he is a customer.
Well,
but that's not why he's here.
That's not why he's here. Yeah. So more on that in a little bit. So.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm Jeff. He's Ben.
I am.
We're here for another great episode of Lancaster Connects. So this weekend for me was a little quiet, which was nice, a little laid back. It's been a bunch of busy weekends as of late, so that was nice. Just kind of nice to chill.
A little bit of relaxation.
Nice fall weekend.
I saw a picture. Was that just like fall landscape?
Fall landscape.
You go for a hike or something?
Yeah. It was nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice. My weekend was busy.
I heard.
Like, I've noticed I've been yawning a bunch this morning. I think I'm still catching up on the weekend. Friday afternoon, we took the afternoon off, right? Because we can do that. We've got a great team. You see some of them behind us over there. So I took Friday off. I went golfing.
How'd that
go? I didn't hit the ball so well, but we played at Highlands of Donegal, out in Mountjoy. Never played there before. It's a fantastic course.
Well,
so if you're a golfer,
it's in Lancaster,
and you're not familiar with it,
about everything that goes on here in Lancaster.
It's true, but great course, kind of links style. All so right. Like, a typical Pennsylvania course, you have trees everywhere. And if you're like me and the ball goes this way and that way, you're often behind the trees.
Yeah.
This course, like you see 4 or 5 holes around you. So if you do this, you're likely in the next fairway, but then you still have a clean shot to the green you're supposed to be going to.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Exactly. So that was fun. Then I went to the Sixers game that night. Great game until the final 5 minutes, and they blew it. But they blew it to one of the best teams in the league, and I got to see Kevin Durant and James Harden play, so that was cool. 2 of the best players in the league right now. And yesterday had an all-day volleyball tournament at Spooky Nook, so shout out to my daughter. She played great this year, really grew a lot in her volleyball game. A little bit of a rough season for the team. They didn't do so well as a team, but again, they're a group of girls. They're all in 7th grade now. A lot of their competition were 8th graders, and next year I think this group of girls will have a great year. So,
well, hopefully they can kick some butt next year.
Yeah,
that's always good.
That's the hope.
Those growth years are rough. I've had them.
Yeah,
I've been parts of them, coached parts of them, been a parent for parts of them. But hey, you live and learn.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
I've never been involved in the game of volleyball. Never played it, other than like gym class in middle school. But watching a girls' middle school volleyball game is intense. It's like it's a great sport, and there's a lot of action, and the girls get real into it. I'm sitting there on the sideline, just like as a baseball game or basketball game or whatever. But it's a pretty intense sport.
Well, good.
Yep.
I'm glad that she's enjoying it.
Yeah, she loves it.
Well, hopefully you're enjoying our podcasts. You can catch the podcasts on our YouTube channels for Gardeners, Mattress and More, for YouTube Lancaster Connects, and then same on Facebook. And if you so happen to be friends with Ben and Jeff on Facebook, why wouldn't you be? But if you happen to be friends with us there, you can catch it there as well.
Team Ben and Team Jeff.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, who's more? Yeah. This guy, Team Jeff. Not that guy, Team Jeff. Anyway. So we got a little bit of business to do up front before I bring our guest on, because it'd be kind of awkward to do business and then the guest and then back to the guest and then business. And anyway, I'm going to read our Sleep Better book tip of the week, which it sounds like Ben should have read it. We will mail you a copy of this book. Go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep better, and we will mail you a copy of this book out for free. Just fill out the form at gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep better. But this tip is about the lack of sleep and the increase of accidents. So I'm glad you didn't have any accidents.
I'll pay extra attention here.
So life as we know it can change in a split second when we're driving on the road. Driving is one of the biggest responsibilities because as a driver, you're not only liable for your own life, the lives of those around you, and for any accidents you may cause that you share the roads with. It's good to remind ourselves of the seriousness of the responsibility of driving every now and then, and so that we don't take that for granted. Drowsy drivers are the cause of approximately 7% of all vehicle crashes in the U.S. and more than twice that of fatal crashes. So, according to the National Sleep Foundation, approximately 50% of drivers in the U.S. admit to consistently getting behind the wheel feeling drowsy. Yes, that number is 50%, and that is a scary number. So that's page 29 of our book, Sleep Better. Again, we'll mail that out to you. Please do what you can to get your sleep. There is no reward for being that, I don't sleep at night champion. I get 4 hours of sleep. You're doing terrible things to your body, your mind. Please take care of yourself. Please get the proper amount of sleep that makes sense for you. 7 to 9 hours, kind of follow those 90-minute intervals of REM cycle, and you will sleep better. And we'll mail you the book for more tips like that.
Well done.
Well, of course it is. I did it. Team Jeff. Go ahead. Hashtag Team Jeff.
How can I follow that? So,
turn.
Thank you. May I have the stage? One of the things we're going to be talking to our guest about is the experience that their customers have with their store. I won't spoil the surprise of who our guest is, but they provided an experience.
That's on the title of the show.
Oh yeah, shoot. They provide an excellent experience, just like Gardner's does, and people drive obviously from all over the county, but even beyond. We had a recent customer come to us from Spring Mills, PA, which is out near State College, so at least a 2-hour drive, potentially a little longer. And one of the things that they wrote was a handwritten review. They appreciated the time that was spent answering questions. It was a much better than the presentations than they've experienced at stores in their neck of the woods. So there's not a store out in their area providing this type of experience that we can provide here at Gardner's. Dream room experience, try before you buy experience, wake up a comfort guarantee, and of course just the sales presentation in general, the sleep assessment that we go through when customers visit. And of course, their experience, love their selection to choose from, and they traveled a distance, and it was well worth the drive. And they've encouraged others to make the drive as well. There's 137 places in the county to buy a mattress. Literally anybody can buy a mattress or can sell a mattress. But nobody in Lancaster County and beyond provides the service that we or our guest provides.
That's right.
So, Thank you to Becky and Devin for making the trip and giving us a nice little testimonial there.
Well, Becky and Devin thought about it this way. I mean, a lot of people are going to drive 2-3 hours for a vehicle.
Yeah.
You spend 15 minutes to a half hour a day, and maybe, I think we spend a little more time in our vehicles than we used to, but the vehicle can't really impact your health the way a properly fit quality sleep system can. And that's what we're here to do. And that's that. I think we did the business.
We did. Do we want to do this business or do that later?
Yeah, let's do that real quick. And then we'll talk about double deals and the anniversary event that's quickly wrapping up.
You can't see that. I'll hold it up.
That's the
AirPods?
Apple AirPods. I forgot what they were for a second.
You put them in your ears?
Put them in your ears.
Hear things?
Hear things. Yes. Very nice. You want to announce the winner?
I will. So October is anniversary month here at Gardner's, 31st anniversary. And every week we've been giving away a nice gift. We gave away Yeti barware last week. The week before was Beats headphones. This week is Apple AirPods. Cindy Lafferty of Marietta.
Congratulations,
this week's winner.
Cindy. Yep, there's the confetti. Jeff is happy and amused at the confetti. It's a small thing.
It doesn't take much to make you happy, Jeff. What's this week's This is the final week.
Final week this Friday, and I guess we'll probably mix it up again. We'll announce it on next Monday's show.
Okay.
But so that gives everybody the weekend to get in on the fund. $1,000 gift certificate here to the store. So if you're entered in the drawing, and if you've already bought from us, and we pull your name, you will get that $1,000 back. And if you've yet to buy from us, you'll have $1,000 to spend here in the store. So that's coming up this week. Come on out and visit. You'll get to spin the prize wheel. Just bring in a canned food donation to local food banks to spin the prize wheel, and enter to win to the drawing. And we'll wrap that up on the 31st for our 31st anniversary. Spooky. It's Halloween. Dad joke. Cool dad joke there. Part of the anniversary event is our double deals promotion. All right, so we're doubling the double deals for our anniversary. You get 3 free gifts. And look around the store, you'll see some of these tags. These are discounted floor models, comfort exchanges, things like that, discontinued items. Time to get rid of those. So great deals to be had there. Plus, you might just score an extra discount, 10 to 15% in addition to the 50%.
Yep.
So,
And that 50% is not a phony 50% like you see at most.
We didn't go
stores.
market up to market down. We don't have time for that.
No time. No time for shenanigans, except for these shenanigans.
That's right. I think we've had We've had less than 12 minutes of these shenanigans. Let's bring our guest on without too much further ado. Ben wants you to think
I'm
it's
gonna
a
get closer.
surprise, as though he hasn't. Yes, as though you don't have the ability to read what's on the title card of the slide.
Whatever.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Mark Allan from Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Jewelers is wondering
over
what
here.
in the world did he get himself into
We'll find out.
with his 2 neighbors. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks.
It's great to have you on as our first live guest in a post-COVID world.
This
Here we
is
are.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of our guests have been virtual except for the customer appreciation event we did.
Yeah. So thanks.
Excellent.
So here,
I didn't have far to travel.
yeah. So here we be, just across the freshly paved parking lot, and we be here. So Mark Allan, why don't you tell everybody who you are, what you do there at the store?
Sure. I'm Mark Allan Maurer of Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash Diamond Jewelers, located right next door here to these guys here at Gardner's Mattress and More. I've been doing it for 27 years. I started as an apprenticeship for a bench jeweler. I was apprenticed by the lead designer of a company called I.B. Goodman. So I have experience not only in stone setting, assembly, all kinds of different things when it comes to jewelry and working with jewelry, fixing jewelry, making it. A little bit about us, though. My father started in 1981 as Vanscoy Diamond Mine, and then in 2004, we purchased and merged with Bash Jewelers, which was also downtown, part here of Lancaster as well. One of the nice things is that my father and Bill Bash were friends. We shared the same customers because we were in the diamond product side of jewelry, which includes diamond engagement rings, diamond wedding bands, diamond earrings, pendants, bracelets, just all really what we call the 6 essentials. And Bash Jewelers was more of a fashion jewelry, which included David Yurman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Simon G. So it was kind of like a perfect marriage, perfect merger, where we could become kind of a one-stop shop for all our customers. So you could get everything from the engagement ring all the way to, a nice piece of fashion jewelry, something like that.
Updating the wardrobe, anniversary gifts,
Correct.
all things that my wife
All the
has,
time.
courtesy of your store.
Thank you.
I got her those nice diamond earrings. I forget when we did those. You were involved in that, and she's taken them off, but I'd be hard pressed to say when. I know she has, but
Diamond
just
earrings,
loves them.
kind of when you buy the diamond stud earrings, they tend to stay in the ears.
Yeah,
So
yeah, she's worn them nonstop. So, 27 years you've been in the business, family-owned business.
yes.
We've kind of focused this show on the big versus small battle on Main Street, if you will. That transcends businesses and charities. We always want to give focus to businesses doing well, doing good here in the community, charities doing good. that aren't your big corporate owned type. So let's talk about a little bit how like your view of the value of family owned business, Main Street business versus like big bank owned, chain owned type companies, because our lives really cross over, I think, a lot in that way.
Well, I think it boils down to relationships and just getting to know people. You don't find that in the big chain stores. It's very transactional.
Right.
And so many customers come in and say that also. People who have spent a lot of time in the mall buying from mall jewelry stores, thinking that that's the only way to do it. And there's this misconception that if you're not buying it at the mall, you're always getting taken. That the mall sells it for, a better price, or, whenever you see an independent jeweler, it's always going to be more expensive. I can't tell you how many times people who have shopped at the mall come into our store and they say, I did not realize that I could afford that. This is much better than what I got at the mall.
Right.
It's just basic fact.
And the quality,
it's
coloration, presentation,
completely different.
fit.
The quality is completely different. Chain stores, really what they tend to do is it's mass production overseas, and then sent over here for, basically to sell at these big chain stores where they mark it up a lot to give that discount that people think they're always getting a discount. Well,
Right.
Our philosophy is kind of, you sell the product for what it's worth, at a good price, at a good value, because you're trying to build a relationship over the lifetime of a customer, rather than marking it up just to mark it down and have some phony,
Right.
retail price point on it. I think you guys understand that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, so we're similar, but we're also dissimilar.
Mm-hmm.
With the offerings you have from Rolex and David Yurman, the price is the price because the value is there.
Correct.
Now, for us, we created double deals just here because, frankly, we got tired of having to answer what's on sale. I mean, and where's the discount? We got tired of that because we just like Mark Allan and what his father created. We believe in that relationship more so. So not having to go through the exercise of changing price cards and coming up with a sale that doesn't immediately correlate with Memorial Day and Labor Day. Oh, it's Jeff's, Jeff and Steph had their anniversary of their first date this week. It's a good reason for a mattress sale. Coming up with all that stuff. It's honestly so tiresome as a retailer and as a merchant. And when you think about the cost of it,
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff, like, you as a consumer you're not getting any value in paying, thousands of hours of labor across the whole ecosystem in those other stores
Mm-hmm.
to update that sale. Like, you're not getting any more value there. So you may as well deal with people that, when they build in the price, they build in the markup, the fair markup on their products. They're doing so to keep a relationship long term. So if you have an issue, as your needs change, as an anniversary comes up and you want to find that perfect gift, they're there to sustain with quality people and product to help you.
Yeah, talk about the folks that are in your store. I mean, you talked about the relationships that you're building. When somebody goes to the mall, they might see a different person every time they go to a mall store, right?
Correct.
You, 27 years, your father's been in the business since 1986, you said?
81, actually.
81.
81.
And I see the same sales associates in your store day after day for years.
I think it all goes back to that relationship building. You try and find the right people to work within your company, and you build a relationship with them, and they don't want to leave. They look to also, all the staff that we have has built relationships with customers that they come in and they just simply ask for them.
Right.
Because they just feel completely comfortable with them. They'll even pick up the phone and say, I'm, quickly driving by, I need something pretty quickly. And they trust us enough to make that pick for them, get it wrapped, and get it ready to go. So,
I don't think that happens at the mall.
That does not happen at the mall. No, you are dealing with somebody with, you're dealing with a company that really does have high turnover. So who you see in there this week may not be there next week. And they all kind of work from the corporate ideology where, you know, this is what corporate says, and this is how we have to follow it. Nice thing about being independent and being family owned, we don't have to do it that way. We can do it to make the customer happy. And that's really what we try to do all the time. Yeah. Customer is right.
Yeah. So some of these bigger, larger chain stores, we have the big chain store in our industry, and you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are large, you know, equity bank to publicly traded, maybe back to equity bank, as is the case in our industry. Soon to go back public again. It's all this shuffle of buckets of money, and it doesn't really equate to you as a consumer getting a better purchase from us in our business. Oh, and it certainly doesn't equate it in Mark Allan's business. But you've got a really big one that like owns them all, right?
Correct. Signet, actually, a lot of people don't realize that, but Signet owns Zales, they own K's, they own Jared's, they own Piercing Pagoda. So when people think they're leaving one store to go to another, they're trying to, and no matter where you go from, you know, wherever you go in these corporate stores, it's really owned by the same company. So if they don't get you at one, they'll get you at another. So the quality's no different. They can't, a lot of them really can't customize. It's what you see in the case is what you get.
Yep.
So you kind of have to settle. With someone with a store like us, you don't have to settle. We can customize. We can make it however you need it to be for that special.
Well, yeah, you have a, and I'm not sure I'm calling it the right name, but you have a jewelry maker, somebody who does the settings right on staff. Right?
For casting, we do outside, but for CAD design, things like that, we do that in-house.
Right.
We do the CAD design in-house. Yes. So you get to see the renderings of it. We will have a cast at a separate location, but then we can set all the gemstones and diamonds and things like that would be needed to be put into the piece. Okay. But we can do that all in front of you, or at least get the ideas. We can start the conversations, and then we go to work on the CAD. And then set up another appointment for you to come back and take a look at the CAD designs. And if we do little tweaks or whatever you need it to be. And a lot of people think that customization costs a lot of money. And it really doesn't. We're fair with it. Again, we're looking to build that relationship over the entire course of your jewelry buying lifetime.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to take it all at once. We look to make it very affordable for everybody over the lifetime of their jewelry buying.
What's the most commonly designed
a ring
piece?
By far a ring.
So engagement ring.
Mm-hmm, by far.
What's the most, if you can share, the most like special or connective design that somebody's done? Is there a story there that you can think of?
Probably the very first one that we actually did when we got into CAD design. The person was recommended. They actually drove from Washington D.C. to come up to have their ring designed by us. So it was a gorgeous princess cut in the center with two trapezoid shaped diamonds on the side and 18 karat gold. It was a very, very beautiful piece, and to start the process with the customer and go all the way through renderings and tweaks and things like that, and then they get the finished product and have her. Then he drove back up here to say thank you after he gave it, and she was just thrilled, and she wanted to travel up with him to thank us for that. So
nothing better than getting that sort of feedback.
Yeah.
From a customer. What are some of the, obviously, we talked about the service and the experience with the staff. What are some of the unique jewelry products that you have that you're not going to find at most other stores? Well,
I think the most important thing, since we are a diamond store, we'll start with that. We have worked with the same diamond cutter since my father's been in business. Fischler Diamonds, based in Antwerp, Belgium. It was founded by Bram Fischler back in 1953. It is still a family-owned business today, although Bram has since passed away. His children run the company. And back in 1980, one of his sons volunteered to move to the United States so they could sell their cut diamonds in the United States. And that's how my father met Serge Fischler. So, and it's been a phenomenal relationship ever since. My father was the only retailer from the United States that was invited to his two sons' weddings. So,
Wow.
yeah, so it's a very, very
That's fancy.
very special relationship. My father had dinner with the family over in Antwerp, Belgium when he visited, in the house. So it's a pretty big deal when you go over there for the Belgians to do that.
Well, in those, I often say here to our customers, you can't be a 5-star company with your wagon hitched to 2- and 3-star partners.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you just explained there echoes that sentiment.
No,
You would
absolutely.
say the Fischler family is a 5-star partner.
Absolutely. I mean, they just know how to cut a diamond correctly. The Belgians in general.
So what are the things that they do? Because this is all news to me. What are the things they do that others don't?
They very much are into just making sure that the proportions of the diamond are correct. Because what is not told at chain stores, big box stores, is that up to 60% of a diamond's value is in the way the diamond is cut, regardless of its color and clarity. So
Really?
that's how you can have a $2,000 1-carat diamond or a $7,000 1-carat diamond. Because if it doesn't sparkle and you don't see it from across the room, what good is it?
Mm-hmm.
So there is there is math, there is geometry to correctly cutting a diamond. For example, in 1919, Marcel Tokowski wrote his PhD thesis on what was called diamond design. And in his thesis, he proved that there is a perfect way to cut a round-shaped diamond. So through geometry. So it all has to do with refraction and reflection of light, the return of light from the diamond. That's what makes the diamond sparkle.
And is all of those qualities, is that what's found in a Maurer star diamond?
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. We are an AGS store, the American Gem Society. And we pride ourselves in that because the AGS, what they really did is they really focused on the cut and the proportions of the diamond, so much so that they have 11 cut grades, 0 being the best, 10 being the worst. We only take in or sell diamonds that are 0 to 4. If they are above that, we don't even sell them because that's to the point where you are starting to see just issues with the diamond. The diamond will not sparkle. That's where you start seeing the lowering of the value of a diamond.
Is it safe to say that that's the typical diamond found in a chain store ring?
Outside of the 4 range, a lot of times you end up with 10s. I mean, so like I said, the poor ones. You can also find, depending on the price of the product and what they're using them for, the diamonds are actually tumbled. They're not actually cut. So they're put actually into machine and tumbled with other diamond to knock off edges and kind of round them out. And then they're put in, mass produced and put into these pieces. So, and that's,
you might have 2 rings that look very, very similar. One's whatever, and one's a lot more, and it's all in that cut.
And you can see it. You can absolutely see it when it's side by side. There is no getting around that. So absolutely. When you see products like that, it's especially when you're comparing apples to apples. One of the nice things about a local family store is that you are getting good value for what you're purchasing. It's not really run by corporations that just set the price, and it's more about making the number than it is about making a relationship, making a customer.
And so all of those things about the cut, the geometry of it, all matter. I think I know the answer, but why do they all matter? in the long run? Like what? Like I think I'll answer my own question, then you tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
So you get a great Maurer Star diamond, and 5 years from now, you bring it in to get it cleaned, get it kind of freshened up. How's it going to look 5 years versus
The
today?
same when you bought it, the same day you bought it.
And is that possible with other stuff?
With, you mean as far as other jewelry stores and things like that? Well, they well,
Those
first of all, the
tents.
quality, yeah, you just can't shine it up enough. It will
Right.
always kind of have kind of like that,
That
just that kind of that dull yellowish piqué look, light not returning, just kind of has this look that there's still stuff in it. You can't get it out. It kind of looks dark. It's not quite the way it should be. But when a diamond is cut properly and you're sitting in like a restaurant or a dimly lit room, you will see it from across the room. And diamonds do amazing things when they're cut properly, even with as little light as you could see in like a very nice restaurant.
Now that sort of diamond education that you just gave us, you're obviously providing that to your customers.
Correct.
They're not getting that sort of education in a chain store because they're almost like they almost want to hide that information.
Correct.
They
They're
don't
not
want the real
talking about
information
cut. They're not talking about cut. They talk more about look at what you can get for this. It's half off. This is what you have. Or we'll give you they like to sell credit because credit is what gets them more money, because a lot of times they carry the paper at a high percentage rate, so they're getting that as well.
And if by carry the paper you hadn't heard that term, so the merchant you buy from, they offer you the no interest credit with the hopes that you'll go past the promotional term, so 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever it might be, and then 30% interest accrues, backdating back to the day you paid for it or bought it, and all of a sudden $1,000 compounded 30% a year for 3 years turns into like $4,000 pretty quick. Like it adds up really well. Maybe not $4,000, but it adds up really, really quick. And some of these chain stores, some of these larger companies, they own that financing enterprise, and all that money comes back to them, which is at that point really there's been carrying cost of the money, but it's essentially pure profit at that point.
Correct. Absolutely.
So yeah. Oh, thank you to produce. See, this is why having good people, 5-star partners around pays off. So Mark, why don't you tell us, or Alan, tell us a little bit about.
So with every engagement ring you purchase, what we will do is we'll give you a free engagement ring photo session. One of our new employees that we just hired is actually a professional photographer. So, and what we are now offering is a free photo session for your engagement photos.
Makes perfect
now,
sense.
Where do you do that? Will she go on location? And
It's predetermined, kind of we'll discuss where you would like to have it done, and then it'll just be a kind of like an agreed upon time that to get those photos done.
That's very cool.
Totally unique experience that I would never have associated being with a jewelry store.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
It's just a nice little touch. One of the things that we do also for our customers is we have a rewards program. So any purchases you make, any repairs that you have done, anything like that at our store, we offer you points. Very much like an Amex card or a Discover card, where you make purchases, you gain points. Points translate into dollars. Same thing with ours. The points translate into store credit within the store that never expire, and you can use them in part or in whole down the road if you want.
Very nice.
Very cool.
How has the jewelry business changed with online purchasing and research and things like that? And what do you do that's different than what could be purchased online from a jewelry standpoint?
Well, I think when it comes to jewelry, it became a little bit of an issue because it was the new shiny penny to be able to do that, to be able to buy online. I will say that I think predominantly most people have wised up to that, and that they need to see what they're buying.
Like a mattress.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
You need to see the diamond and the cut of diamond. You can't see that at all through a screen.
No, photos do not. Jewelry and photography do not work very, very well. In order to get some of the pictures that you see in some of these our designer catalogs, like David Yurman, John Hardy, Simon G, the process that they go through in order to take these photos so that you can, have a very good interpretation of it is way, way more complicated than what people realize.
Well, of course, like Photoshop and things like that, you don't know what you're looking at.
Correct, because you can doctor,
Yeah.
you can doctor those types of things. So I think really now what's happening is that people, well, I don't want to part with my $2,000 online and just take a flyer on this. I'd like to see what I'm getting. Plus, there's a hassle if you buy online and you get it and you don't like it, then you have to go through the hassle of returning it, then buying something else and not sure, how that's going to go. And the whole time consumption process can get way out of whack. So
if somebody's
by coming
thinking
in,
they're saving time by purchasing online, in
Correct.
the end, it's going to cost them a lot more time and effort and potentially
correct. And then when you're comparing what you have to what
Well,
you come into our store and take a look, it's two
and-
different
and,
things.
Somebody listening to this might say, these guys are just obviously they're biased to online. They have buying in person. They have stores.
Mhm.
But here's the reality of it, and I speak from personal example working with Mark Allan and his staff. When it came time to get those diamond studs, I had no clue what I wanted to get for my wife, none at all. And it was really like, I'm a blank slate. Where do I start?
Mhm.
And it was a series of questions about, well, what does she have? What does she like to wear? Activities, where do you go? Personality, dress style, like all these things that I never even thought of that I could easily answer if I'd have thought of them for myself, but I couldn't. I was like a big dumb doofus trying to buy something, and you guys sorted through the doofus, and like I'm a hero.
That's what we do. Absolutely. Going online and trying to decipher this stuff. It's I heard a very good line that you wouldn't expect to read your own chest X-ray. So why would you try to go online and try and figure out how to make a purchase with diamonds if you're not educated in it?
Right.
That's coming into us. We educate you so that you know exactly what you're buying.
Yeah.
A lot of times, depending on the websites that you go to, their education gears you towards what they're selling and not necessarily just giving you the whole picture. And then from there, you making a decision, an educated decision as to what you want.
We face that often with mattresses. There's all kinds of analytics that you could type into a form. I do this, I'm this height and weight and sleep on my side, and it'll spit out, okay, you're a 4, and 4 matches up to these 3 models. Well, those are the 3 models you should pick from. But that doesn't take into account snoring and reflux and back pain and all those sorts of issues. And it's very similar to the jewelry buying process from that standpoint.
Absolutely.
There's things that no computer or website can tell you that can help you make that purchase.
Correct.
Well, and there's a lot of times people have an expectation of what they feel is out there, they feel is available, maybe assume is available. We, time and again, height of things, going from a full to a queen. People want to keep furniture, but they don't understand there's adapters and rails and things that we can do to get them into a bigger bed, but they keep their furniture. I just recently worked with a customer in that regard, and they were going to go down the road of an expensive custom cut thing. And I said, time out. We don't have to do that. We just need a very simple set of rails that will accomplish this, and we'll be good to go. And they were very surprised by that. But had they been left to their own devices, they would have limited their options and spent more to get less. And that's why we're so into this, because we feel when we lead our teams with the right ability to help, the right guidance, we really can help our customers. I like to say more often than not, because of how our customers begin with us, which is online. It's on our website, and I think a lot of it for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
When people come in here, it's not that we have something to sell to them. It's that we're affirming to them we're affirming the fit. We're going to ask the questions, they're going to give the answers, and then we're going to find the right solutions that fit what they need. It's really more affirmation than it is selling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what one of my core focuses here, the marketing of the business, the sales that happen in here. And it's always putting our people in that position to be able to affirm the right fit.
Yes. I mean, a lot of times when people come into our store, they've already been online. They've done some education. They have pictures. They, what they're looking for. So, online has its place to kind of get
Sure.
that started. But then coming into the store and taking part in the affirmation and the discussions that need to be had, and the education that needs to be had, so that all aspects before you make a decision, I think is quite important. I think that then leads to that relationship building that you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I would put forth to anybody watching this as we look to wrap up is, when you have a business like Vanscoy, Maurer and Bash, you have a business like Gardner's. There's many other great local businesses that have been doing business for 30 years, 40 years. I mean, you're 40 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're 31, so you're the older brother. But no business stays in town like a town like Lancaster for 3 decades, 4 decades, 5, 6. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
You and your father are very networked into the local business community. You don't stick around that long ripping people off, not providing great value.
Correct.
I mean, word gets out fast.
Yes.
And when that doesn't happen, it's pretty quickly that you're not in business anymore.
Correct. There was it was years ago, that if you treat a customer right, they won't tell anybody, but they'll be very happy. If you do not treat a customer right, the number was 7. They tell 7 people, 9 people that they had a bad experience, and that spreads pretty quickly. So absolutely. So
I mean, we do something here where we actually call you after the purchase to make sure you're happy with your mattress. I know in 2021 that sounds like an odd thing, but we do pick up the phone and we do call because we do care. I'm sure you probably have similar processes. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, I like to say our accountability is somebody could walk in our front door, walk in your front door, 50 feet that way, 7 days a week, most weeks, mm-hmm. right? Or 7 days a week, most weeks. To me, that's the ultimate accountability for you as a consumer, right? For you as one of our customers, is you get to put our feet to the fire. Yeah. Yeah.
The comfort level of knowing that there's, the owners in the store. And
we have a decision to make customers happy each and every day.
Correct.
Or do things that make them unhappy. We always choose happy, mm-hmm. right?
Absolutely. I mean, I am in the happy business.
Right.
I mean, usually when somebody's coming in to make a purchase from me, it's for a very happy event, very happy occasion.
Yeah.
So, we're in the business of making people happy.
Yep. So we've got holidays coming around the corner. You gave us a full-on dissertation on the market economics of Rolex this morning. So if you're in the market for a Rolex this holiday, they are the store to talk to, but I'm not sure they'll be able to make you happy, because
we can try.
They can try.
We can try.
There's immense demand with limited supply, but give people something to think about for holiday jewelry purchase.
Well, one of the things that we have promoted over the years, and that we have seen have a great uptick here in these last 18 months is what we call the 6 essential pieces of jewelry. Pieces of jewelry that a lady will wear every day, all day, no matter if she is in jeans and a t-shirt or a little black dress or sweatpants, and that is the diamond engagement ring. So we did see a lot of looking to increase the size, trade in what they had, and increase the size of the center diamond. Diamond wedding band, simple diamond solitaire pendant, diamond stud earrings, which you said at the beginning here. My wife never takes hers off, so I have a hard time. I'm in the jewelry business, and I have a hard time buying any other earrings for her other than just,
You've done such a good job of that essential piece.
Yeah. It's a diamond bracelet and a strand of pearls. And then we have added a seventh here, is a watch. So all these things are, just something that she can wear all the time, that you don't have to worry about, well, we don't have any events or anything. No, that's all fine. Diamond solitaire pendant she can wear every day. Diamond stud earrings she can put in, forget about them, and wear those every day. So just something important to consider. You can't go wrong with anything like that.
Right. Well, one thing that we do like to have as a core component, I guess you could say, of our guests, a core ideology, quality. There we go. Quality is giving back. So we talked about how Vanscoy, Maurer, and Bash gives back. You said there's one specific charity you're very excited about.
Yep, we've been doing this for many, many years. We work with the Lancaster Early Education Center based downtown. Nina Moraney is in charge, and she just does a phenomenal job. This is an education center that takes care of underprivileged families. When you need daycare or you need education, this is just a great charity. So what we do every year, what we haven't been able to do though the last few years is there is an event that is run every year, in which we have a silent auction for a lot of our jewelry pieces. We usually have about 70 pieces at the silent auction, and the proceeds, a share of the proceeds goes to the education center. Okay. And we also raffle off a David Yurman bracelet.
Very nice.
So any proceeds that come from that raffle also go to the Early Education Center. So,
cool.
So I encourage everyone to check out their website, and if you can donate, please do. She does a great job.
It's a great charity.
Do you know, so they would obviously take monetary donations. Do you know if there's any ability for people to donate their time? Do you know about any of that?
I'm pretty sure you absolutely could do that. They're always looking for volunteers.
That's the thing. None of these charities are ever going to turn away volunteers. And I'll say it again today, like I will any other time we're talking about charities. They will happily take your money, which they need. But more often than not, these charities need help to affect their mission. Mm-hmm. The money is great and it's always needed, but without their volunteers and without the community around them, they need it. So if Lancaster Early Education is something you're compelled to give time to, please do. If it's money, please do that as well. Be sure to check out their site, engage with them, give them a look, and see if there's something you could do to help them out. That's great. We're going to make a little donation as part of our efforts here through Lancaster Connects to give back to the community. So we're going to do that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
We'll give back for your time.
Nina will appreciate that for sure.
Yep. All right. I think that's about it.
We have our connection cocktail.
Connection cocktail. Yeah. Mark.
Okay.
Deeply personal.
All right. Excellent.
This was page 2. We only gave him page 1.
Mark.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to do in Lancaster? Mark
I would say I do like downtown.
Okay.
Going out for dinner downtown. I also like to play golf, so it was pretty funny that you made mention of that.
Have you ever played Highlands at Donegal?
I have played Highlands at Donegal, and it is a good course. Yep. It is a great track.
My go-to is always Cross Gates. I lived in Millersville, and
right.
It was just right there and easy to go to. But yeah, Highlands I thought it was a fantastic course.
Yeah. It is a very good course. I do enjoy that. I like the link style, which is what you were talking about too.
It suits my game.
No fear to hit off the tee when you're playing link style.
I have to share this story. There was one of the holes, middle of the second 9. I know we're running out of time here, but we couldn't see above the hill, right?
Right.
And I didn't know, not playing there before, that it was a complete dogleg right. Like the hole goes uphill and then it like completely doglegs right. I didn't know. And none of the guys I was playing with knew, or if they knew, they didn't tell me. I cranked a 4-iron straight that way. I'm like 2 holes.
Two different holes.
I go to the ball and I'm like, wait a minute, the hole is that. one of those classic.
Did they give you a
Good moments.
mulligan? Were you able to?
The ironic thing is, I actually birdied the hole. It was a par 5, and my then third shot was right on the green, right on
That's
the fringe,
awesome.
And I knocked in.
That's a great story. That's a great golf story.
It was completely the wrong direction, though. Like to the point where I thought I was going to kill somebody. Like it was going, but I couldn't see the ball.
He had a 10 on that hole.
It was a 4.
He had a 10. He's lying. He told me all about it earlier. It's a total golf story. So being downtown, and hopefully you can answer this.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't say Mulligan, what's your favorite restaurant?
Josephine's.
Josephine's, there it is.
Josephine's or C'est La Vie. So up by Central Market.
Yeah. Yep.
Those guys do a great job.
Josephine's, is that upstairs or downstairs?
Josephine's is downstairs.
Downstairs.
It's a little bit quieter, a little bit more intimate, and then C'est La Vie is a lot more.
And that's upstairs.
Yes. Yep. Really nice bar area. When it's warm out, they take up the area. They have tables outside, right around Central Market and whatnot. So it's a great spot.
My wife and I had our anniversary lunch there last month.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was
very cool.
his first time there. Do you have an annual event that you go to? Last question. Then you're off the hot seat.
Not really. Not
No?
really. Annual event is in. I do the early education center type of thing. And
Anything
there's
that
always.
you look forward to in Lancaster every year. They do something, an event, or
I go to so many.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
You're
hard to
mad about
pick.
town.
It's hard to pick.
Jinx.
It's hard to pick. Well, when your children are older now, you get
true.
to go out and experience the things you couldn't before. So
Yep. Very cool.
Well, very good. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Mark
Thanks
Allan,
for having
thank
me.
you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have a guest back here in the studio. Hopefully, we'll be doing more of this, but if not, we'll have more great guests virtually on Lancaster Connects. If you want to be a guest on our show, real quick before we wrap up, lancasterconnects.com/guest. Fill out the form. Tell us in the comments box all about your business or charity. Again, we really like to focus on the big versus small, how we're all beating out Amazon, and how we're giving back to the Lancaster community. So if you've got something to say there, think you'd be a good guest for the show, please fill out that form, lancasterconnects.com/guest, and we'll have you on the show, just like we did Vanscoy, Maurer, and Bash Jewelers. Thanks for tuning in. Mark Allan, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.